Welcome to Aarhus, the second biggest city in the Kingdom of Denmark. With a population of just over 370,000 people, Aarhus is known for its amusement park, modern arts museum, BMOs, and for being the birthplace of Danish computer scientist Bjarne Stroustrup.
Bjarne Stroustrup.
Yes, Bjarne Stroustrup.
English speakers and foreigners in general have some trouble pronouncing it. It's Bjarne Stroustrup. Try it a few times, then stick a potato down your throat and do it again, and then it'll sound about right, the way a Dane would do it.
Okay. Bjarne was born in 1950.
This is where I grew up. This is the yard. Right up there was where my parents and I lived. This is the school where I went from 1st to 9th grade. This is sort of a lot of Aarhus right behind me.
He was born on the day before New Year's.
Ja, det er jo ikke en god dag at have en fødselsdag på. I can't recommend this as a birthday.
Does Bjarne believe in astrology, you might ask?
No.
Well, he's a Capricorn, which has the following traits: ambitious, disciplined, and hardworking.
More or less.
In 1969, Bjarne went to university.
This is the main part of University of Aarhus where I was a student. Got my master's here.
And who would have thought he actually got into programming by mistake?
I picked a kind of math I thought was applied and you could build something with it. And in Danish that was mathematics with datologi. And I didn't actually know that datologi was computer science. So I signed up to become a computer scientist without actually knowing it. And well, it worked out.
But what if it hadn't?
I'm not good at anticipating failure. I just work harder.
During his time at Aarhus University, he met a person who would prove important to his and, well, our future.
Oh, you mean Christian Nygaard?
Yes, Christian Nygaard, the inventor of Simula and object-oriented programming.
His ideas of how to structure code was very, very good and inspiring. With Simula, I could write code easier and have it more correct. That kept me going, still keeps me going.
In 1975, Bjarne left Aarhus for Cambridge, where he completed a PhD under the legendary David Wheeler. After that, he made the big move to the US, where he started working at the world-renowned Bell Labs, alongside famous programming pioneers like
Brian Kernighan, Dennis Ritchie, Alejo, Bob Morris, probably the key people there. There was many more, but I'm lousy with names.
At some point, Bjarne knew 24 programming languages.
Algol, Snowball, a pattern matching language, Algol 68, PL1, PL360, Mesa. There's just a lot of languages.
You might be wondering how this is even possible.
It was much easier to learn languages in those days because they didn't come with all of that baggage and tool support and such. Anybody who came and told you that they had learned 24 languages today, that would be fraud. You can't do that. Things are more complicated these days.
It was at Bell Labs that Bjarne started work on C++.
I was always thinking about operating systems and machine architectures. I was trying to work on high-level support. And I just needed a language, so I decided to build one.
At first, he named it C with classes because...
Because it was. It was C, and I had put Simula-style classes into it.
Later, C with classes turned into C++.
Because I thought it was cute and unusual. And still people think it's too unusual and you couldn't do that, but I liked it. It wasn't me who thought of it, but I picked it off a list. I wish I had that list, but I've lost it.
And then, C++ took off.
We saw this use of C++ going up like that, starting with one user that wasn't me after 6 months. Well, 10 years later, we had close to 1 million.
Bjarne had a special philosophy for the language.
At the time, I was saying that I need to build a weed, not a rose, because I can't be around to water it all the time.
And he's especially proud of one thing.
There was no advertising campaign. No sugar daddy trying to push this out in the world. It just spread.
Did Bjarne ever imagine that C++ would grow into one of the most influential languages in the world?
If somebody had told me there would be 7 million users, engineers and such, I wouldn't have believed them. I was just building something for myself and my local group of friends and colleagues, and then it just spread.
Well, we thank you for it, Bjarne. From operating systems to space exploration, C++ has been there. And to this day, Bjarne is still teaching, speaking, and writing code.
I keep going because of two things. One, it's fun to see how it's used, and there's nice people to talk to. And secondly, a feeling of obligation that somebody has to make it better to keep up to date.
And through it all, Bjarne Stroustrup and his signature hair.
It's just the way the hair grows, and when it gets too long, it gets cut. That's about it, and that's always been the way it is. I'm not very fashion conscious.
So there we have it. A brief history of the great Danish computer scientist, Bjarne Stroustrup.
Bjarne Stroustrup.